So what is a sales management? Integrating sales management, marketing management, monitoring and adapting to the, also this is a chapter outline. Sorry, just move it. Yeah. So what is sales management? Sales management has two definitions. One was the old era and now is another era. So we're gonna learn both of the definitions so that you can understand. There are many, the now sales and marketing is actually considered as one of the most crucial part of organization because they are considered as the bread earner, right? Who goes into the market to sell the product? Whatever you make, it doesn't really have any value until it's sold to the customer, until it's marketed to the customer. It has reached the customer. So the production, the HR, the finance, everything else come later. The first, sales marketing comes the first because they are the one who are selling your product. So because you have interactions, most of the interactions with the customers nowadays is through the sales and marketing. But there are some like you have customer support center, technical centers where they are dealing with the customers, but the primary source of contact is still the sales manager, especially for B2B customers, right? When we buy something, we don't go to the customer. Especially me, I don't go to the technical support. I go to the person who sold to me first. Hey, your product is not working. Go and fix it. So they are the one who are conducting to the customer support and helping us. But we always remember the person who sell us, right? You might have bought anything in your life in for your organization. So but the person who you remember most is the person who sold to you because they are the one who lie. Okay, then sales manager are the person who oversee the sales force. So who is the sales force? Everybody who is selling. So your executive, your coordinators, the person who is taking a telephone, the person who is making a telephone call, like a cold calling, right? Telesales. Those are the people, the reservation people who are person arranging the files. Those are also Salesforce because they are helping the sales managers to achieve their goals. Okay, so the titles of the sales peoples are, this is a very traditional kind of hierarchy. So you have VP, then you have a national sales manager, you have zonal sales managers, you have district branch field sales manager, and then the last is sales manager. Oh, our national sales manager is not here today.
She's busy.
Okay, yeah, of
Position of
course.
2 jobs.
Yeah. Oh, decision of two jobs. Okay. Yeah. So this is a very typical one, but every organization has different way of organizing the sales and marketing division. Sometimes you have one vertical for one product. So this one is like if it's not only one product. If your company is selling two different products, you may have two different sales and marketing guys. You may have one VP for customer relationship. You may have one VP for marketing only. So there are different level of people. This is only for sales. So VP, national sales manager, zonal, and then the managers, and finally the supervisors or the coordinators. So responsibilities of the sales manager, primary role is to plan, lead, control, and the selling activities of the control the selling activities of the organization. So these are the three ones: plan the activities, lead the activities, and control them. So how you plan? You make a sales plan, correct? How you plan your sales activities is how to make a plan first. So sales plan is, yesterday we discussed, is need to relate to what? No, that's not the sales plan. The sales plan, how, what you are going to sell, how you are going to sell, it depends on your marketing plan, right? So your sales plan has to tie up with your marketing plan. What is the marketing? What are the market mix? Where you need to reach? How, when you advance you need to reach? How often you need to visit to your customer? So those all depend on your marketing mix, which is defined in your marketing plan. That marketing plan will help you to design your sales plan, right? Then you lead, because not everything you can do by yourself. As a sales manager, you need to lead your sales force. Who is going to see the customer, who is doing the cold calling, who is coordinating the customer database, who is going to do the file management. So these are all different peoples, different peoples doing different jobs. So your job as a sales manager, so here for this purpose of this course, we will call the leaders as a sales manager, but it's actually the top person, whoever is in the sales position. It can be a VP, it can be a director of sales and marketing, it can be anyone. The name, it can be different, right? And then control, because planning and leading is not the only thing you can do. You need to do control. So control is comparing the business, comparing their job with the targets. You have given a target, so you need to act. You control the actual performance, right? You take a follow ups of the job is which is done, checklist. So those are all part of the control. Then the continuously monitor their marketing strategies to dynamic technological changes, competitive changes, economic changes, legal changes, and cultural changes. So these are called we call pastel. Right? Have you heard of pastel? Yes. Political, economic, environmental, cultural, and legal changes. Right? So these are your business environment. So these are changing very quickly, very fast. For example, US-China trade war. For example, the sanctions on Myanmar. For example, financial crisis. Correct? There are many changes happening. Political wise, also there are many elections ongoing in the world. So the economics are changing very fast. And then sales manager also consider the interest of the stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders in the company? Internal. So who are internal stakeholders? Employees and employees, suppliers, customers, management, right? And the external are your debtors, sub government, your stakeholders, your debtors, so media, right? And then the stakeholders and the government. So these are all different type of stakeholders. So it's not the job of the CEO only to consider the stakeholders. It's also the sales manager because we are as a sales manager, they are the front runners. If I'm doing even though I'm the CEO, I'm still doing the sales calls because that's my job. I have to sell. I cannot manage a business if there is no business. So I have to bring the business first and then manage it. Okay. Then the formal definition of the marketing is this was for 2 decades. It was process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create an exchange that satisfy individual and organizational objective. So this was the formal definition some time back for 2 decades, about 20 years. So it was on the deciding on the price, on the promotion, distribution, the piece, right? That all piece, and to create an exchange to satisfy the individual and organizational objectives. So this was the old definition. So this is old marketing. So pricing. So these were again we are considering the 4 P's, right? So marketing was largely viewed as a seller. So we are selling and to create the exchange just only buy and sell, simple, satisfy the individual customers and emphasize on the management of the marketing mix. So this was the definition of marketing until some time back. Now since 2004 the definition has changed. It's an organizational function, so means it's not a job of one person, it's an organizational function and a set of process for creating, communicating, delivering value to customers and manage the customer relationships in a way that benefit organization and its stakeholders. So the shift is changing. Shift is changing in creating and communicating the value. Right? It's not the exchange anymore. It's not buy and sell. It's creating a value. So when you are creating a value, you are creating a value not only for your own company but also for the customer, because you cannot have a value only for you. Correct? It has to be a value for the customer to be sustainable. You cannot run a sustainable value unless it's the both ways. Right? It's a win-win situation. So the new marketing perspective is moved away from a transaction orientation. Transaction orientation means exchange. So it has moved away from the exchange, focus on delivering a value to the customers and manage the customer relationships. Very important aspect, right? Customer relationships. And focus on building a long-term customer relationships, not just the short term. Because we are not creating any transactions value here anymore. We are creating a long-term value. We are creating a brand value for our organization stakeholders and a benefit for the consumers. Okay, so the expanding role of the sales and marketing managers. So this is how the 3 implications of sales and marketing managers, what they must do. They must manage the customer relationship. How they are managing? They are achieving a continuing dialogue with the customers. Means you cannot just say, okay, you buy from me, now no more, no need to contact you anymore, right? You are still need to contact the customers. That's why, for example, in the hospitality industry, maybe I'm not sure if you have stayed in the big hotels and you have given your birthdays. I still get the happy birthday or happy marriage anniversary if I have stayed and I tell them. Like I used to stay in the Shangri-La, I still get happy birthday messages because even though they are automated messages, they are not there's no somebody who is sitting and sending, because there are thousands of customers, maybe 10,000 customer or 100,000 customer, they are having every birthday every day. But even though it's automated, but the systems there is, because it's a management of process. So there is a process, they have defined the system that okay, if there is a customer birthday, just send them. So I still remember, because I still get the birthday message from them. Even until now, I'm not even working for them, right? I used to work for them. I used to stay there. Now I don't stay there. I don't work there, but I still get the messages because a customer relationship and not one time. It's continuous, continuous. But personalized treatment of the valued customers. So you cannot send one. Most of the, even until now, if you receive a customer, let's say you are, that applies to your personal life, your selling or professional life, both. Whenever you are sending something to the customer, means let's say you are sending a job CV to your potential employer, make sure it's customized. Don't just copy paste. Dear hiring manager, these are my skills, and then okay, I'm suitable for your organization. Nobody gonna hire you unless you personalize. Personalize means you need to tell your skills in a way that matches the requirement of the job and the mission of the company itself. So means you have to customize your selling. So even the professional life, when you are selling your customer to B2B or B2C, you have to customize your sales, right? You just heard that lady create a story, right? How you are going to use the benefit. So it's the customer benefit. How you are going to use your product. So you are telling a use case. You are telling a story how you can use our product. Then you will be able to sell. So stall storytelling. Increase the consumer retention. That what we discussed yesterday. The retention is very important. Acquiring customers can be very expensive. Retaining them is very cheap. So retaining is you need to focus on retention. Then serve your customer as a consultant. Means because you are creating a value, right? So you need to understand their problem first, right? Empathy, build on the relationship on mutually profitable organization. So it doesn't mean that you need to satisfy the customer value, so you start selling at a loss, because that's also not sustainable either. If you start selling at a loss to benefit the customer, your company will shut down very soon. So you cannot sell just only for customer benefit. It has to be mutual. You need to have your sustainable profit as per your company profiles, your required rate of return, and the consumer also should get the benefit in their own value, right? And as a consultant, so you cannot sell anything unless you understand the consumer problem. So it's all empathy. Then manage the hybrid sales force. So hybrid sales force means your telesales, telemarketers, e-commerce salespeople, direct mailers, manufacturer agents. Those are all your sellers, right? You have seen now, if you have to even advertise at multiple channels. Not one channel is efficient. In the previous time, TV was efficient, radios were efficient, newspapers were efficient. Now they are not efficient anymore. But you cannot ignore them, right? Because there is still a population which is, even though you say 67% of the people watch their mobile phone, but there are 30 people who still see the desktop, right? There are still a few people who are watching the TV every single day. So if you just only skip one and ignore the another one, you lose the customers. So you have to optimize your balance based upon your market mix. Here again, the market mix comes into the picture. Who is your target market? If your target market is young, then yes, you need to focus more on mobile and applications, maybe gaming applications, right? What is the famous game nowadays? Oh, I didn't know because I don't play games. Sorry. But I used to play like some time ago, a lot of time ago, Angry Birds. That was the last game I played. After that, I never play again. Oh, that was one more game I played was the Mario. Remember Mario? Yeah, that was like 20 year ago. No, sorry, not 20 year ago. That was like 30 year ago. Yeah, that was 30 year ago. I played Mario. So now is no more. Last game I was played was the Angry Birds. So I am a different customer. My marketing mix is I'm a professional. So if you want to catch me, you catch me on the LinkedIn. You can be on the YouTube. You catch me on the educational professional websites. That's the person where I go normally. I don't go to the gaming. I don't go to the shopping. I don't do the online shopping. So market mix is different, right? So understand the consumer. Then you can understand how you're going to advise. So this is the role of the sales. So what are the qualities now based on what you have understood? What are the qualities of the sales managers? So let's look at them. Efficient, effective lead and motivate the people. Right? That's one quality. Leaders. That's usually everyone is a general quality. You need to be a leader and motivate the people. Make good decisions. That's also very general, right? You need to be able to make decisions. Solve problem creatively. This is something different in sales and marketing. People's finance no need to create the no need to solve the problem creatively. For us, 2 plus 2 is 4. But for marketing, 2 plus 2 is 5 or 3. Yeah. So creatively, you need to see the creative value, right? Create value for both. For us is if you give me the money, you lose the money, I win the money, right? Finance is very straight, but for marketing is different because you are creating value for both. Correct. So solve the problems very creatively. That's why salespeople usually lie. Because they need to prove the value, right? But we are not, we're going to learn the ethics also. We are not allowed to lie during the sales and marketing process. You need to sell whatever it is. Provide an outstanding communication. Here is another skill which is not a general skill. Outstanding communication. Not, it doesn't mean speaking English. It means speaking the language which your customer understand, right? Your marketing mix understand, right? So same value, same things can be said different times or different types. You can say in a boring text. You can say the same thing in animation, any pictures. You can say the same thing in a GIF. You can say the same thing in a video, explainer video. So communication depends. Effectively communicate the things. Communicate what is right. Communicate what is true, but communicate in a way that your customer understands you and the way that they want to understand, right? So communication also affect where you are communicating, because if you communicate the right thing at the wrong place is also have no value. So communicating right thing at the right place at the right time. Then you have monitor competitor offering, right? If you don't monitor your competitors offering, then we are lost. So keep an eye on your competitor, what they are doing. So it doesn't mean that you need to copy them, huh? You cannot copy your customer competitors. You need to outpace your customer competitors, right? And then finally improve the sales for productivity and profitability. Train them also, right? So training skills. So this is the important skills which are needed for a sales manager. Then the field sales, how the headquarters, this is applicable only for a company which is working in a headquarter and sales team is sitting somewhere else. Otherwise, it's not applicable. So advertising, so how headquarters are normally helping the branch teams. So they are doing the advertising for them. They are doing sales promotion, sales aids, trade shows, product publicity, marketing research. Those are done normally headquarter level, not the unit level. Can anybody tell me what is the reason why? Yes, sir.
So, could you please explain about sales aids?
The collaterals means your brochures, your pamphlets, your yes, sales aids. How what are you doing for sales aid? So these are collaterals. So why do you think these are done at the headquarter level rather than at the unit level?
Standardized.
One reason is standardized so that every unit use the same things, correct? And then
Another great idea. Manufacturing
can reduce the cost. Yeah, bulk manufacturing. So if you buy in bulk, your cost per piece is very low. right? But if the units are buying at their own places, it can be expensive. So, but if you buy in headquarters, it's cheaper, right? Especially the like marketing research, you want to make sure you are doing only one marketing research, not that unit one is saying something else, unit two is something saying something else. So you need to have a consistency in your operations. So that's why these things are done at the head office level, not at the unit level. Okay. Then again, more marketing and sales planning. So sales planning is also done at the headquarter level. Forecasting, sales forecast, product planning and development, marketing development, public relations, and internet communications. These are all controlled centrally rather than give it to the unit levels. Okay, so market mega trends which are affecting the sales and marketing. These are the mega trends. One is behavioral forces. That one we have already discussed in detail. Technological forces, because the technological is changing, right? The way you communicate with your client is also changing. So we're gonna be looking at these three forces in a bit more details now. Theoretically, managerial forces, how you manage your people's employees, that's also changing. So behavioral changes, buyers attitude, preference, behaviors are changing. So that necessitate your selling strategies to change as well. So how you are going to change? Now you are more expert and demanding buyers, correct? So your means you cannot lie to them anymore, because they are expert, they understand the things, and they can do the research. You can just go on the Google immediately and do a research quickly. They can understand. Even I'm not from engineering background, but if I buy a aircon, I go and check online, go on YouTube and learn how to buy a aircon, how to compare the technical specification. So I don't need an engineer anymore. I don't need a sales manager to teach me, or I teach. I learn from the sales manager, one sales manager, and check another one. So concept checking also is there, right? Because I get the information from everywhere. Demanding, because of course you have a lot of choices, so you have more demands, right? Rising customer expectations, because customer expect a lot nowadays. They have choices. Now the micro segmentation of domestic markets. Micro segmentation means because the markets are segmented now, right? And then you have different choices. Expanding power of giant retailers. So powers of the retailers are increasing. They can buy at a cheaper price and sell at a cheaper price. Empowerment of customers and the globalization of markets. So if you are working in a domestic market, then you have a competition, even not from only your domestic market but also the globalized. You can buy even things on internet and get it delivered in Myanmar, right? So there is a competition. Even the business is not existing here, there is still a competition. Even though it's maybe a small competition, but still there is a competition. Okay, technological changes. Sales for automation. Who of you are? Which company is using sales automation systems for sales? Where you can automate the sales?
ERP is automated system.
Or ERP is automation system. Yes, that's right. So ERP is one of the automation systems nowadays. Have you heard of Salesforce? There is a software called Salesforce. Don't know. It's one of the biggest and earliest. You might have heard of CRMs, customer relationship management softwares. So these are the software which automate the things and manage the customer database. So you want to sell a proposal, you want to assign somebody to your sales. So let's say, for example, I'm the Salesforce manager and you are my 5 sales managers, right? I assign him, go and check the 10 clients, right? Assign him also 5, 3, 2, and 6. So now I need to manage 10 different sheets and to ask him, okay, which one did you manage, which one you go or not go? I don't know. I have to ask you, right? But if I have some system where I assign the 10 people, okay, you go to these clients and then all the clients, then you need to update your report even immediately from wherever you go. Take the pictures and upload. Then I know you go, right? So I don't need to see the pictures in my handphone or by the print. I can see on the software. You just upload and update your report there. What was the client? What was the client response? What was the proposal that you sent? I know everything sitting here already.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask you immediately step by step. Correct? That's all automation. So nowadays the sales more because you have a lot of customers. You don't have one customer only. So more customers, more sales people means you need a high management tools. Excels are not good enough anymore because you cannot collaborate each other. So Salesforce is automating. You have your smartphones, you have your emails, you have task management tools where you can assign the specific people specific task and they have to report back in the application, so you can track which task is pending, which task is overdue, which task is done already. For example, I'm using Google Classroom. If I give assignment and I ask you to submit on the Google assignment, I'm tracking, right? I'm automating it. I don't need to give you individual assignments and I don't need to track what have you responded or not. I know already by looking at the system that which one have not yet responded, how much delay you have responded, right? So this is one of the automation system. So everywhere automation is happening. Portable computers, electronic data interchange like emails, video conferencing. So now you don't need to give a presentation to your client by going only. You can do video conferencing. Within your sales people, you can train if even if some person is sitting in Mandalay, some person is sitting in Shanghai, and you want to do a sales training, you can do it. No need for them to come here. You can do a video conferencing. You can create a video and upload. They can watch it. There are learning management systems where you can control. So automation is happening everywhere. Then you need to do the multi-function phones, emails. Oh, this one we already discussed, and instant messaging. Very easy, right? Viber. You can control. Your sales manager has seen your message already or not. I do it a lot. I send a message and then I wait. Is it seen already or not? And the reply has come back in 10 minutes or not. Okay, then you have virtual sales offices. Home from your home, selling from distant. How many of you use any freelancer? Do you use freelancers, online freelancers? No. Have you heard of Chatesat? ChatESAT. Chatesat. It's a local freelancing website owned by a Burmese founder. I mean, it's a copy of the Upwork or ChatESAT, separate words. Chatesat. It's a freelancing website. Maybe you have heard of Upwork, and maybe you have heard of Freelancer, Truelancer. There are so many websites nowadays. If I have hired some people in Bangladesh, some in Pakistan, some in India for doing my freelancing jobs.
Oh.
So then I'm controlling them via those automation systems. So you don't need to have the salesperson in your home personally for full time. You got it? But it doesn't work. It's a useless website. Yeah, the website is very old. The website is very old, and I don't know. They never update it. I try to hire a freelancer there. It doesn't work. So
Freelancer for what profession?
Marketing.
it's different. I have different requirements. Like I want to hire for designing because I don't want to hire a permanent designer on my payroll. It costs me at least $200-300 per month. But I have only job once in a month, once in a week. So where are I gonna go? I hire a freelancer and say, okay, this is the creative work. Design something for me, and then I can get it for cheap, very cheap price. Especially in Southeast Asian, you can hire a Filipino sitting in the Philippines, and then hire them for doing your back of the work, design, write a copy, create the videos that like explainer videos. You can ask them to create very cheap, not very expensive. So here is the same virtual, right? You can hire people nowadays for doing like customer relationships. You can hire freelancers from all over the world nowadays. So the automation is very fast. Electronic commerce, e-commerce, sorry, like Amazon, right? Here also shop.com.mm. Then you have internet blogs, podcast, screen sharing, WebEx. What is WebEx?
It's video conferencing tools.
Video conference. It's a conferencing tool.
However, it's video conferencing.
Hmm?
Web app is video conferencing.
Yes, it's a video conferencing tool where you can do the meetings, and the meeting is recorded, and you can know who attend, who didn't attend. If you upload your video on YouTube, you don't know who watch it. Yeah, you can join.
Traditional way.
Huh? Yeah, traditional way is like us. We are sitting in front of each other.
Video conferencing, but
Yeah, there's no video conferencing part need. All you need is the internet connection. That's it. Nothing else. So you can see and you can talk.
That conference device also can use with the conference camera,
Yeah.
microphone,
it is called web app.
WebEx. Yeah. It's created by Cisco.
Cisco.
Mhm. It's created by Cisco. So actually, maybe not created, maybe bought. Because nowadays we don't know who created what. Nowadays we just know who bought who.
who own what.
Who owns what. We don't know they created or they bought it. It's very difficult to understand. We just know who owns it now. That's more important. So WebEx is owned by Cisco. We don't know who created it. Internet and extranet. What is extranet? Or what is intranet?
Intranet.
Huh? You're using extranet?
Uh,
Intranet also.
We use intranet within the office.
Within the office. Within the organization, actually. Within the organization. So outsiders have no access to it. Extranet is somebody who is not an internet, but outsiders are using it. Right? For example, GBS extranet. So I can do the research for Barcelona, for the Madrid. I'm doing a class next week where I have to do a research. So I'm downloading the research material from their extranet. So even though I don't need to go to Barcelona or ask them for sending me, I can just
As
go
long
on
as you
extranet.
are one of the members.
Yeah.
Use GDSS, but
Hmm.
for intranet, only the internal.
Only the internal customers can access it. So it's basically the same thing. Only the authorized user are accessing, but one is for internal customer, one is for external customers. Okay, so these are technological changes. And the salespeople can enhance their productivity by using the communication tools. So smartphones, cloud solutions, right? Messengers, Skype for business. How many of you use Skype?
That's that.
You use Skype? Skype for business or Skype?
Skype.
So there is a Skype for business also. There's a business for business use, but it's different. Only organizational customers can go there.
Guarantee for the security. also.
Yeah, security and you can they record actually. If you do a video conferencing on Skype, you can do on for business. You can actually record the video on the
WhatsApp will
Skype.
be similar like this.
Hmm?
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
WhatsApp for business.
WhatsApp for business is no WhatsApp for business is not for conferencing. It's only for business to send the unlimited messages because you can create a group of only 256 people in WhatsApp. But WhatsApp for business will allow you to send more messages and will not track you as a spam. Otherwise, you can be blocked. Facebook also now have a for business thing. Facebook for business. So you can use Facebook. Many companies they block Facebook in their office environment, right? But there is a Facebook. That's why they create Facebook for business. So you can create the social profile only for business, only those connected peoples. So they can share the file, they can share the chat. It's like basically the same WhatsApp group or your Fiber group or your other things. But Facebook for business, you can actually track what are they doing socially and within the company, and they can do the message, Facebook's messaging, calling, so file sharing, basically the same things, but other softwares are aligned, but on one platform. WhatsApp for business. So these are the technological changes. Then you have managerial changes in which is affecting the sales manager. So which is efforts to reduce selling cost. Every nowadays you want to reduce your selling cost because the cost of people are increasing. Salary keep on increasing, right? Every year 5%, 10% increment you have to give, but it doesn't guarantee that the business will also increase.
Yes.
So the cost of selling as a percentage to revenue increasing. So you have to minimize that. So how you gonna minimize? Either increase the sales or reduce the number of people, right? So you can do that by training or improve the productivity of your sales force. So improving the productivity means you take out the unnecessary job from them, automate them, so that they can focus more on the customers and they can get more revenue, right? Direct marketing alternatives. Nowadays, like for example, our hospitality industry, we want to sell direct to the customer. because that's where we get our most of the revenue from. I mean, not revenue is not coming from most, but value is mostly come from them. So same thing, I'm selling uh, the hotel room to a travel agent for almost half of the price as I would sell to you. So my selling, so where I would be more benefit selling directly to you, right? But to reach you, I need to spend a lot of money. Need to do the advertisement, need to do the Facebook TV, need to do a lot. I don't know how to connect with you, right? That's the problem. Finding more customer is very expensive. So you can sell either via intermediaries, via agents who will find the customers, or you sell direct. Then you have your cost of selling is increasing. So it's a mix. At first time we want to reduce the selling cost, but we want to sell direct. So it's a mix, balance between the two. What is the cost of getting extra customer? So the time I have to spend too much in getting an extra customer, then I would step selling direct at point of time when my benefits are less than my cost. Correct? Then you have certification of the salespeople. So every now you might have been seeing the trainings, right? Certification training, stars trainings. So the people are training the certificate like negotiation skills, selling skills, soft skills. Those are all how presentation skills. These are the soft skills that the salespeople need to learn. Shortage of business to business salespeople. It's very difficult to find a very good salesperson nowadays because the complexity of selling is very difficult is increasing. The demand from the business people is also increasing. So it's very hard to find a person who can understand the customer problem and create a solution. Right? We learned that already that the organizational customers are very difficult. And the key to sell them is to create a story for their problems. And it's very hard to find a problem, find a person who understand the customer. I meet a lot of salespeople. I'm almost every week. Somebody is coming and trying to sell me. And most of them, they have no idea what I'm doing and what is my problem. They just want to sell their problem. They just want to sell their solution to me without understanding what my problems are. So most of the time, I kick them out. Okay, never mind. Or ignore the emails. First time I ask, okay, whatever is your solution, send me your proposal. And if I see there's a standard copy paste, okay, just ignore it. Means this person has no idea what I need. So the same way, the same trend is happening all over the place. That's why it's very difficult to find the salespeople who are really good with empathy. And the people who are really good with the empathy, they grow very fast. And it's very difficult to retain them because if it's in the shortage, right? It's like a demand. Whenever the new company comes, they get the people from the old company, pay the extra salary and get it. It's very fast.
That one, I think it's not only about the salesperson qualifications, also the rigid rules of the business.
Yes.
Sometimes the customer needs this, but because of their rules, the salesperson cannot adjust these needs and demand and supply.
So those companies actually will fail very soon because as we have learned on.
Let me share my experience. Since last month, I tried to find the service provider, telecom service provider for our office use because our office is quite small and number of staff only less than 10. So what we need is we need to control the telecom costs because we provide the telecom cards to the staff and the internet usage also. For data, we cannot trace whether it's personal use or
It's very
professional
difficult.
use. So these kind of things we want to control. So we want to limit the amount. So then I try to search this all for telecom providers, and out of four, three they cannot provide, they cannot adjust our needs. If they cannot give unlimited
Data.
unlimited calls, messages, and then we want call list. Then we can figure it out which one is professional, which one is private. Then we were asked to the staff to reimburse for private calls.
Use.
But the other three they cannot provide. They can only provide in very rare situation by
Written request. So it's
We
a
cannot do
diplomacy.
every month
Yeah.
to get the call list. And one of the providers, they can provide almost all our requirements because their company itself is very flexible. And they totally delegate to the salesperson whether the size,
That's the
like
deal.
even one, they can adjust their customer needs. So for us, less than 10, but we can do the package, airtime package. So very convenient. That's why the support of the business also really important. Not only the quality,
Not only the
quality
sales
of the
quality actually is, yeah, you're right. It's also about the company policy,
even
the culture.
the salesperson is so much outstanding. If the business procedure is too rigid, they cannot do anything.
Yeah.
One of the salesperson, he referred me to
That company, what do you do?
No.
Telecom. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Oridu is also quite flexible. Used to work with them,
But they are really poor in marketing.
mm.
They don't want to come for
Oridu.
sales call. We invite them to come and present their products. They don't want to.
Maybe the marketing head is not understanding the need of business to B2B customers.
And
they have product, but they don't sell.
By selling us, they can expect more market. Because if we buy, and the other office in our office, we have 3 or 4 offices. So the other also will think about like this kind of business package.
Yes.
Because most of them they don't know, or even us we don't know. We want like this kind of service, like what our regional office in Bangkok. They usually buy the airtime package because they are already developed this kind of telecom service. So then we inquiry, and then we found it out they have B2B service and blah blah blah.
So it's the marketing, right? Because they are not actually doing enough marketing. There is a user, there is a demand, there is a need, but the product is also there, but it's just not reaching the customer directly.
Yes.
Is you have to ask them. Customer awareness. No, the companies are not aware of customer needs. Basically, they make the product, but they don't know how to market it probably. So this is the good research already. It's a good use case to see that, oh, why the marketing are important. This is why marketing is important, and the salesperson is also the policy is also very important. The culture of marketing. So that's the job of actually the sales manager or the sales head that understand the market mix.
I try to advise to MBT, try to bring this customer voice and to the management.
Oh, my MBT is the most useless company. They will not listen. They don't. They are not. They are the least
Because
flexible.
No, all of us we are now using MPT, so we try to get the service from them. Then we don't need to change the number.
Yes.
Now if we are totally changed to Telenor, then we have to contact to our
everybody and then tell them our new numbers.
All our contacts, we are going to change numbers.
Well, I think in developed world is already there number portability. You can change you can keep the same number but change the service provider. So that is also coming. Maybe Myanmar will also have
that service, but it's okay. We will go to the similar series of numbers. Instead of the similar number with the different service provider code, we will change all.
So this is one example where the sales and marketing is lacking, right? So that's one example. And then development in the information management. So this is the new sales mega trend, managerial change, information management. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's some more. Mobile virtual sales offices. So you have virtual sales offices which are mobile. Means you can hire the freelancer, you can hire the people on the go. They don't need to come to the office anymore. But the problem is we need to manage them. And the developments in management is the database marketing, your data warehousing, data mining, and push technology. So what is the difference? Database marketing means email marketing. So you have a lot of database. You just use that to push the emails, right? Sending the emails to the database, the big database. So there are softwares which are automated. If you have to send 10,000 emails, you will die, right? So there are emails. I mean, you can even use a simple Word and Excel file also to do the automation, and then send an email to all of them, mail merge, right? Have you used mail merge for sending emails? No? Oh, it's very easy. But you need to have Outlook. I mean, the Windows email, default email.
Match to the same grouping, mail recipient grouping.
No, it's individual mails. So means like you have an Excel sheet, and then you set up your template or whatever you want to send, and then put the fields, name and other things, and then push the email recipients. So it will use the Outlook and send all the emails, but it's individual email. Means your server will send 10,000 emails if you have your Excel has 10,000. So the most likely the search engine will, or the recipient domain will say it's a spam mail because sent in bulk. But most of the emails are sent individually. But the problem with that is you don't know that the email has been reached or not. So there are now softwares which are managing this part. Means if you want to know that the user has read your email, the user has opened your email, the user has clicked anywhere in your email. For example, you are sending an email to buy something, right? So you can use those automated software, send 10,000 emails. So the software will tell you how many people have opened the email, how many of them has clicked on the, and which link. Maybe you send 10 links. So the software will even tell you which link they have clicked, and how many times they have read, how many times was bounced, how many times people delete the email. So you will get all the details. So you can actually refine your database marketing at that later stage. Remove the people who are not responding anymore. So you save your cost. But these are expensive softwares. Data warehousing means you just save your data, right? Manage the data, clean the data, and validate your data. That's all warehousing. Mining means understanding the trends. What is happening? How many customers? What are their age? So that you can do the targeted marketing. Push technology is your messages, your SMS, emails. Means you're pushing the message to the customers. Even if, let's say, maybe I don't know, you have noticed, let's say you are going to Thailand, right? Your mobile provider, the person you will send you immediately a SMS. You have arrived to Thailand. Here's your roaming charge list. Correct? That's push technology. Now there are companies who are doing the specific area. You go to the mall, you may receive a SMS that there is a shopping, there is a coupon or there is a promotion ongoing in one of the shops.
Last year when I went to Chiang Mai,
Mm.
as soon as when I landed to Chiang Mai, I received the Grab
Yeah.
promotion.
See, that's push technology.
Exactly the same date when I will be in Chiang Mai, the same duration. They give the exact
Coupon.
promotion coupon within that period.
And even though actually the in the Thailand Grab is very smart. They, even if you reach the airport, they know that you are at the airport. So they will give you a coupon from airport to wherever you want to go. So it's like very smart. They are using the technology, they are using the data, they are using the location intelligence to push the right email, right message to the right customer at the right time. Just you reach the airport and you get a message. You want to go from the airport.
My Grab account is female,
Mm.
so they always try to assign female driver.
Oh, see, that's the customer care. So now you are very loyal to Grab. You will not change to Uber. So I mean, there's no Uber anymore. Anyway, Uber is dead in Southeast Asia.
That's why it's that.
Yeah, because they are not able to compete. Grab is actually very innovative, highly innovative company. They are very innovative, and you know where it's come from, right? The I think the founders are from Indonesia and Malaysia. The Malaysian Chinese founder, Indonesians. They are a mix of peoples. They founded it's in Southeast Asia. It's not come from US actually, but they are more advanced and more technology savvy than the US companies. Okay, selling cost reduction efforts, professional certification, and the direct mails, shift in direct marketing. So we are selling directly to the catalogs, telemarketing, teleselling, personalized email, and kiosk. So there are different way of doing the direct selling. Okay, the managerial effects on to effort to reduce the cost. At the moment, as per the survey, the cost of business call is nearly at $250 per call, which is very high. For some of the industry calls, the sales call cash cost like $400 to $1,000 or maybe more. Because the problem is it's not the sales call like only one visit. Sales call means your complete sales, your how much time you are spending on the customer, researching the customer, understanding the need, going there, doing the proposal, all the time cost of the salesperson cost $1,000. So if you cannot get the business of at least 1,000, you are losing the money already, right? So to reduce selling cost, many manufacturers are actually now trying to do use the different sales methods like middleman, part-time salespeople, direct marketing instead of salesperson to go and visit the customer. So direct selling directly via advertising or via direct marketing is much cheaper than you are hiring a permanent salesperson. Plus they are in shortage. So you are using direct emails. Now the direct emails are websites, chatbots, right? Have you experienced chatbots? Facebook chatbots, where
Vacation.
travel vacation. You go many websites, there is a small little thing coming up, pop up. Oh, we want to help you. We want to help you. Sometimes it's just ignore it. So, but they are helpful. Sometimes you want to ask them a question immediately, then you get an immediate answer rather than you call. Most of the time now, that's why you will notice the 24-hour customer calls are actually very busy. They will hang you up for you are in the queue for 60 seconds. So after 60 seconds, you are again queue for another 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, another 60 seconds. So it can take up to 4 minutes just to reach a customer care. So if the company has a very busy customer care, they need to reach the customer via more faster channels. But the more chatbots means you need to have more people, right? So they outsource the business process. That's what the business process outsourcing companies are doing. Accenture, a lot of companies in India, a lot of companies in Philippines, they are doing the customer service. They are helping the people's voice calls and the chatbots. Then the teleselling. You just could do a cold call to your database like I am doing now. Clear the old database. Chaos selling. So you can add your robots. Nowadays you have a robots also selling you the custom selling you the products directly. You can order via robots. You can get the food delivered via robots. There are restaurants in China where you can come. There's no human at all for service. You get the order from your tablet sitting on your table. The food will come via robot. The things will become clear via robot, and the payment also via robot. You just swipe your card and then done. Easy, right? Amazon has launched a new cashless stores. You just walk in, pick up select your product, pay via credit card, or just swipe and then finish. Done. No need cashier. No need to wait in the queue. You just get your products easy. So that's the technological advancements based on the customer market mix. Then you have personalized emails. The 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 email blast software that I told you is actually very dry. It's only for cold callings, not for personalized email because you cannot. In those software, you can personalize only the name or maybe the address or the company name, but not the text. Text has to be the same. Otherwise, it will not reach the thousands of people. So mass is still the standard format, but nowadays you have more customized email, personalized emails. So at the moment, in the name of personalization, companies just use Mr. Miss name change. That's the only personalization they do, or dear at the last. Okay, certification. Now the certification of sales requires to gain a certain amount of practical experience. Then you have enroll in the educational seminar and courses, pass a sales competency exam, and provide some professional references. So this is how you do the sales certification and agree to comply with the code of conduct. Okay. So the sales should be done for new hires or certification or for the existing people also. The question.
Every level refresh.
Refresher, right? So it's not only for new hires. It's also for the new promotions. The person who just get promoted into a new role also need to be recertified, because sometimes you and your from associate go to a supervisor, supervisor go to a manager. So you need to recertify them based on their new job description. And sometime after 2 year, 3 year, they forget everything, right? You are attending this class today. I'm dead sure after 1 year you will all forget this. So you need to redo your MBA. Refresh your MBA. Now you can watch the videos again and refresh yourself. Okay, so that certification is for everyone. Okay, I think let's see how many of them are still left. Then we can finish it. Information management tools. So there are people, the companies are now doing a lot of information management, like we have already discussed. Database marketing, oops, sorry, database warehousing means you are managing your data, just warehousing. My push technology means you are using the data, using emails or SMS combined with your data usage. And data mining means to get some insightful information from your whatever data has been collected. So analyze your data to understand the trends, relationship between the two data sets. That's all called data mining. Okay, how well your sales manager are performing. So how you gonna understand your sales manager are going to perform? Illogical selection of sales manager. So these are the reasons why some sales manager are not performing. So sometimes you may promote some sales manager or sales executive just because they achieve their target, but you don't really see that. Companies don't really see that they have managerial qualities or not, because selling and managing is different things. You may be very good with the sales, you may be very good with the peoples, but when it comes to lead other peoples, because as a manager you have a different job than a supervisor or as a direct salespeople, right? As a direct salespeople, you have interaction with the customer. As a sales manager, you have interaction with your salespeople, not too much with the customers. More on planning, more on the promoting, more on the controlling. But these are the skills which not everybody has. Some people are just built for sales, direct sales. And sometimes you have inadequate management training and the lack of long run customer selection orientation. So this is the reasons why sometimes the sales manager fail in at higher levels. Okay, insufficient blend of sales, marketing, and financial knowledge. Financial knowledge does it important for everybody?
Yes.
Right? Even the engineers need to understand finance. Correct? How to calculate the income tax on your salary. That is very, very important. Otherwise, the finance people deduct overtax from you guys. Be careful. Yeah.
How much you have to buy for your life insurance?
Yes.
You want to reduce from your tax.
See, that's all depends. So, sales manager hierarchy. So, skills and ability requirement.
Of saving money at the bank or buy the insurance package. What
And
is the profit loss?
how to save money from your wife? Don't tell her the full salary. Yeah.
One of my colleagues said that our salary is very well depend on the company profit. But one cannot be said.
Yeah.
He's paying that to his wife.
Yes. Yeah. So your salary depend on company profit and company profit depend on salary. So the skills which are need at different levels of the sales. So for a salesperson, the most important skills is the selling ability. So he need to be able to sell. That's the only requirement he has. Then supervisory skills for supervisors. And for manager, you need to have managerial ability for district sales manager and sales managers or regional sales manager, right? So managerial ability means you should be able to plan, you should be able to control, you should be able to lead. So leadership abilities. The leadership abilities increase when you are either national sales manager or a vice president. Correct. So these are the highest ones. So here you need more on the leadership skills, not too much on the planning and organizing. As a CEO, I most of my time goes in coaching to my staff how to do things, not tell them what to do, but what is right, what is wrong. Let them decide. Right. So that's the leadership. The leadership is not about knowing everything, how to do it, but understanding and coaching the peoples. So as a sales people also is the job of the sales managers or the regional sales manager or sales head, not to strategic planning, to tell your managers how to do this job, right, or to guide them in a proper way. Okay, so more interpersonal skills when the level is growing and developing the leadership ability. Okay, why is not finishing? Developing sales manager for the new millennium. I just want to finish this slide. Okay, the developing in means you need to develop your closer relationship with the customer. Treat the new salespeople as empowered equal. Means sometimes you may say, oh, it's a new sales manager. Don't give him the important client. So that's actually may not be the right way, right? You need to treat everybody equally because they may have a better way to perform and apply flexibility in flexible motivational skills. So multicultural hybrid sales force. Nowadays, the workforce is very global. Correct. You may have people from all over the world working in the same team, especially in the not in like in Southeast Asian countries, for example, countries like Dubai, Middle East, where the local peoples are very less in workforce. The more is the mix of the different countries, from the western side, from eastern side, from everywhere. Up to date latest technology and learning the marketing and financial skills, again financial skills, in order to recommend the competitive strategies. Okay, so financing is also important, and continually seek the way to exceed the customer expectations, means not meet it, exceed it. Okay, last I think. So there is an ethical question. The ethical question will be at the end of every slide. That's why I know it's last. So on a sales call, the previous one of the salesperson, your previous customer has said that your previous predecessor used to have a special gift for me. Are you going to continue that policy? So what would be your answer? Are you going to continue that policy of special gift or not? If you are the sales, you are the new salesperson, what would be your response?
We, if we have released another better arrangement, we will offer that one.
No, it's not about the better arrangement. It's
Because
actually it's about the special gift. You know the special gift,
so like kind of
the kickback, like a kickback, like a commission. So if you are the salesperson and you go to a customer, the customer say, "Oh, your previous guy used to give me a 10% kickback. So are you going to give me the kickback, or I should change the supplier?" So what you are going to do? Are you going to say, "Okay, yes, I will give you the kickback also," or you say, "No, no, no, sorry, sir, that's not my policy." What is your answer?
So as for me, I have a big relationship with customer.
Hmm. No, but the customer is adamant on the kickback.